Let's move on to, I just thought that was interesting. Like if you're looking for like a smaller phone, kind of fucked. CAGbag time at Onboard Games writes in and asks, what would it take all of you to be a guest on another podcast for an episode?
What podcast?
$69.
There are a lot of podcasts that I enjoy listening to that I would love to be a guest on, but no one's ever asked me. So
I think he's asking indirectly through this tweet.
Yeah, I mean, if you could get me on to Blank Check, I really want to be a guest on Blank Check. They record in New York, so, spread the word. I want to be a guest.
Yeah, so Inverse Genius, or Onboard Games, rather.
I don't want to be a guest on your podcast. I want to be a guest on the... That is the one podcast I want to be a guest on.
Yeah. So if you can make that happen for Wombat, what about if you can make that happen for Wombat, the Blank Check thing, he'll come on your podcast.
I would 100% come on your podcast if you get me onto that one.
And your face.
Yes, definitely.
Is the reason you don't want to be on his podcast just because you don't have enough time to do that?
Probably.
I mean, that's a valid thing. Like,
yes.
It's something like where people have asked me to be on different podcasts and everything. And
usually,
yeah, that sounds great. And then I'm like, I'm already spending one night a week doing this.
Right.
Getting another night to do it with people that I don't know as well is not going to really be that compelling to me or my family. Yeah,
Mrs. Shipwreck is waiting for you to work the farm, and not much is going to get done. That's what you call it.
and you know what? Nothing against, and I'll even give you a plug. His podcast, for those who don't know, is Onboard Games, which is a board gaming podcast where he's done many episodes. I don't even know if I would be an appropriate guest on the board game podcast.
I don't do many board games.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to listen to me talk about 5-minute Marvel for 45 minutes.
I'll go on anybody's ping pong podcast.
Yeah, straight up. So, but you got a plug out of it, and you get me onto Blank Check, and we'll talk.
Right, he's gonna suck you off, man.
Whew. I don't even care what movie it is. I'll go on for any movie. I'd go on for Ricky and the Flash, but I think they've recorded that one already in advance.
Do it again. It'll be better with Wombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much say yes to when people ask me to go on their podcast, unless I forget.
I haven't been asked to go on a podcast in a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often either. Yeah. I mean, look, what are you going to say on their podcast that you don't say on your podcast?
Well, that's why I would want to go on a podcast that isn't, like this format. So they would have to be like something specific.
Something targeted specifically to your interests.
Yeah, or something that's like a very specific topic that I could talk on. But yeah.
Or if they pay you.
Mm-hmm.
Any of those things.
Yeah, that would be nice too, but that's fine.
That doesn't happen, I don't think. I don't think people pay.
I would be okay with not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Monster Legacy writes in and asks, why did you guys choose Xbox over PlayStation this generation as your main system for all of your gaming? I already asked this in depth on Twitter. I finally just got on it. Only took 10 years. Oh, I guess he sent the question on Twitter too. I just like the controller better, and I like the, and I guess once the X came out, I pretty much stopped using my PlayStation Pro except to play Spider-Man and stuff like that.
It was sort of like this, especially with Game Pass, and we talked last week about the pass-through, which I had used for a long time, and when it would be like, oh, if I was watching TV but then wanted to play a game, and it was just a matter of turning on the controller, it sort of it was a lot easier. And then the next thing I knew, with, like I said, between Game Pass and Games with Gold and everything else, when I had 500 games on the stupid Xbox, it just became then there you go. There's my ecosystem.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. It's just like the ecosystem. It's already there along with the controller. I don't know. There's something that's just easier about the interface to me than the PlayStation. I feel like when I turn on my PlayStation, it needs to update and it's not a friendly process.
Right.
I don't know. And that could just be because I don't use it as much, and so it always needs an update whenever I turn it on. But I don't have anything against it. I just always, if I'm going to sit down, I always reach for the Xbox controller.
And for me, it became, the Xbox always got like the streaming apps sort of first, and they were better. At least in my imagination, they were. So that became my streaming platform. So I don't have cable TV or anything, so that's where I would watch.
You just don't plug it in.
Okay. Technically, I have it. I just don't.
You pay for it. You just don't.
I mean,
you don't.
I only pay for it because it was cheaper to get it than not to get it.
Trust me, I just did the math again, and it's still cheaper for me to keep cable than to get rid of it. Mm-hmm.
Right. The whole thing is ridiculous. But the point is, I don't even remember the point now. The point is, somehow, even though the PlayStation 4 destroyed the Xbox sales-wise, all three of us, well, we bought both of them. I guess it didn't really matter. But we just used the Xbox more. At Railgun Games writes in, and he says, topic, pre-orders on the Amico Founders Edition. That's the Intellivision console that's coming out later this year. Pre-orders on the limited edition wood grain have sold out. Total price is $299, and it comes with extras.
Oh, when you only make 15 of something.
They made 2,600.
Yeah, what was that? That was something else.
They made 2,600 of it.
Oh, it was? That was them? That was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were joking.
All right, good for them.
No, I'm not joking. I put down the pre-order.
Good for you.
You were one of them? Oh, my God.
I was one of them.
On the wood ones?
Yes.
Shipwreck.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Someone's got to do it, I guess.
It looks, I got to admit.
It looks nice.
It doesn't look bad. It looks nice.
I've liked, they showed Night Stalkers, the updated version of that they're making for it. And every game they've shown is kind of hitting home with me. Is yes, right. I'm interested in this.
Meanwhile, this thing would look fucking ridiculous in my living room. Ridiculously good.
And yes, it is sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally sold out. This is mid-century modern inspired. A little later than 50s, but
enjoy it.
This version also comes with a Tommy Tallarico autograph on it, and I'm almost can you just can
you put that on a piece of tape?
Yeah, we're good. We're good there. I have nothing against Tommy Tallarico. I'm just I don't know. Can you sign the bottom of it? Can you sign the bottom of it?
Oh, come on, Tommy. Can he sign it in a mid-century modern format?
Right.
It does look.
The good news is, Cheapy, that they are going to offer the wood grain again at some point.
Okay. But
it's it's going to be. It's not going to be as good of a deal. I think.
No autograph?
No autograph.
Cheaper with no autograph? Damn.
Well, this thing it was $100 pre-order, which is fully refundable.
Uh-huh.
So
I want to go on record here, by the way.
Yeah.
If you ever say a word again about the fact that I got Coke boxes for $50,
just mention that wood grained.
I'm going to mention the wood grained Amico.
If you can even remember the name.
I have no problem with you getting those boxes.
Now.
I never had any problem with him getting those boxes.
Yeah, sure. Likely story.
I like to make silly jokes about it, but it's not like I have an issue.
This Amico thing, you need a TV for it, right? It doesn't play on this. Okay.
Yeah, it's an own little console.
Now you got to go out and buy a TV also.
Well, I thought I don't know.
It doesn't come with a TV. No.
I forget it. Forget I said anything.
When TV not included. What consoles these days?
It came with a $50 gift card to buy games as well. So I'm okay.
Right. Yeah,
all in on the Amico.
Enjoy it, man.
I've bought dumber things, I hope.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll run into Tommy at E3. He can sign your chest. So, hey, just sign my chest now, and then you don't have to sign my Amico later. How about that? Can we do that? All right.
He's got to sign 2,600 of those things. I think he'd be thrilled if I said, "Yeah, just pass on that one."
You should send an email out. Do you really want me to sign your thing? Yes or no? I'll give you a $10 refund if I don't have to sign anything.
Exactly. That's if I was in his position, absolutely, that'd be what I was doing. Like,
he's like, nobody's gonna want these things. I'm not gonna have to sign that many. Oh no.
There's a lot of these like stupid consoles that come out. This one seems a little bit different to me in that it's not like an emulator type thing. It's not trying to like do something weird with retro games. It's its own, like they're making little bite-sized games for it.
Right. Well, Intellivision was one of the first consoles that I really got into. My neighbor had one, my friend and neighbor.
Right.
And it was pretty fun. And he had like so many games. It was so awesome.
They nailed the look of this too. That was a like, okay, you got me on the wood grain and the gold look.
Right. It looks like my cell phone case. All right. Let's do one more CAG bag question. I don't like any of these questions.
Okay, so let's
pick one, Wombat, or none. It's up to you. I don't want to feel like it's all my fault if we don't answer.
We already talked about so many of these things. No, we're good. We're good.
We're good. All right.
Yep.
Wombat's fault again.
Yep. Leave it on me.
Yep. Perfect.